if you gonna do something like that, wait till you get into the floor of the game and you seeing like, they really can't stop us, like that type of stuff like that. And maybe we already got some points on the board, but that was a situation where it's early in the game, man. Go ahead and get up on and they ain't even got no points on the board. Go ahead and get you some points up on the board.
I'm so tired of the bad bitching in the offensive coordinator room. They be trying to be cute and trying to outsmart somebody, but really at the end of the day, they just out here bad bitching it because
Welcome back to the Down South Philly Show. I am your Down South Philly co-host, Don. We got your other co-host here, DP.
in the building. Hey, tell them about the gun line. Tell them about the gun line, boss. What we got on the schedule to talk about today?
Man, look, it's Thursday. You know, we're a little bit, just a tad bit late getting to our thoughts. I already put out my individual thoughts on the game, but as a collective, we really just here to give our thoughts on the game. We had a little bit of time to marinate on it. Our thoughts on this Atlanta Eagles game, and then we're gonna move on to the Saints game probably next episode. We might touch on it a little bit here, just because it's kind of relative, but that's the lineup for tonight. We're gonna talk about our thoughts on this debacle we had on Monday night against the Atlanta Falcons. Game was so bad, put DP in a coma for about 3 days.
Yeah, I had a headache for real. Well, it was more than a headache. We had a stomach bug going around in here. Like, whenever you got kids, so they bring whatever in the house, and at some point, 98% of the house if not 100%, gonna be affected. So yeah, I got off easy because I was still able to go to work, but that day watching the game, that should have been my first sign that things was on off, because I couldn't even really enjoy the game when we was winning. And then I remember you had dropped in the group chat, was I asleep? When you had said that, I was asleep. I missed our last touchdown.
Right.
So yeah,
that was me yesterday. So I feel you. I don't know if anything was going around or I was just like super tired, but I literally slept like the whole day. I slept so much that even at night when I was like, I woke up at like 11, and then I was getting ready to go back to sleep around 12 or 1. And Kiana was like, "You going back to sleep?" Because I literally had slept the whole day. So I don't know what it was. I was feeling sick and I was almost out of there. So I feel you on that. The same thing must be going around in Novacare, because they was playing like they was sick.
Nah, it was more so like it was going around the coaching staff.
Nah, that defense was sick. They run defense.
Yeah, I mean, run and pass really, but
they ain't really get to the I ain't even gonna say I'm mad at the pass defense. The pass defense was a doggone byproduct of that run defense.
Yeah, I mean, I could say that by the end of the game, they probably was tired too. Yeah, and not to mention on that last drive, it was just Mitch out there, but at one point we did have 2 rookies in that secondary.
Yeah, we didn't really we didn't give up too much through the air until the end of the game. That's when they started killing us. Like beginning of the game, they were really just running the ball on us. Like we weren't really giving up too much, but yeah, I knew just to go ahead and start getting into it. I had a bad feeling as soon as we didn't go for that doggone field goal. Because in my mind, so we started the game off. I think we got the ball first.
Yeah, because they deferred.
Yeah, so was that the same drive we was about to kick a field goal on? The opening drive? Was it an opening drive?
I can't remember if it was the opening or the second. It was one of them two.
Either way, we was about to put points on the board first.
Yeah.
So boom, when we got ready to kick the field goal, well, when we was in a position to either take the points or go for it, I'm like, man, like it's early in the game, because I'm not if you gonna do something like that, wait till you get into the flow of the game and you seeing like, oh, they really can't stop us, like that type of stuff like that. And maybe we already got some points on the board, but that was a situation where it's early in the game, man. Go ahead and get up on the, and they ain't even got no points on the board. Go ahead and get you some points up on the board.
Mm-hmm.
Let's get on the board early, just to have something up there, because you don't know how the rest of the game gonna go. I don't feel like you start doing stuff like that early, because I hate when coaches like, even like when coaches like start, even when they down and they start chasing points early, like going for 2-point conversions early and stuff like that. Like, I don't, just kick the field goal, man, because a lot of times they come back to bite you. You done missed a 2-point conversion, but you done scored 2 more times. You know what I'm saying? It wouldn't even have mattered had you just kicked the field goal. So a lot of times I think coaches be like outsmarting themselves. I always say that coaches be like, they just thinking too deep into it, man. Just play football. Like, I like I kind of, in some ways, I kind of like back in the day when they just, it was guaranteed. You get stopped on third, you taking the points. Now this day and age, a lot of times these coaches going for it, which in some case scenarios is good. Now, had we picked it up right there, I wouldn't be saying anything about it. But I mean, it is what it is. I still would have wanted them to kick the field goal, because it would have just been a smart thing to do early in the game. So, that was my first sign right there. I was like, man, I ain't gonna say that came back to get us, because you never know, how that would have still affected the game. But I just felt like that was just a bad way to start the game with a bad. That was all coaching right there. We had no business going for that. That had a bad taste in my mouth the whole game, especially when I started seeing how they was basically controlling the clock. They was running the ball. We didn't have that many possessions that game because they was chewing up a lot of clock running the ball. Now, they really couldn't stop us either running the ball, but I don't think we committed as much to running the ball as they did. They did exactly what they were supposed to do. Like, oh, they can't stop the run? I'm going to call a pass for it. Just keep running the ball. They ran all the way up the field. Like, that's exactly what they were supposed to do. That's what coaches are supposed to do. A lot of times, even with us, we was running the ball on them, and then we'll throw in some passes. Why? Just run the ball. They not stopping the run. Just run it. Man, what else happened? I ain't even got my thoughts straight. It was so much that happened.
Man, just to echo what you were saying, like just starting the game off, leaving points on the board, that's always a no-no in my book, because I mean, you just never know if you're gonna need them, and ultimately, obviously we can't determine whether that was the reason we won or lost, but like you said, it was just a bad start to the game. Right. I like what I saw from the offensive game plan early. Feed Saquon, especially when you got your number one dog gone in AJ. We got whatever we wanted to on the ground. At some points, it seemed like we was damn near getting 10 yards a carry every time Saquon was running it up the middle. And I was proud of that until I'm so tired of the bad bitching in the offensive coordinator room. They be trying to be cute and trying to outsmart somebody, but really at the end of the day, they just out here bad bitching it, because just keep running the ball. Like, it's working. It's I don't care if they know that it's coming. If they can't stop it, oh well. And that's how it was all night. Neither side could really stop the run, but I felt like they were gashing us, but our O-line was just like physically imposing over that defense. And I felt like no matter what they saw coming, along with Saquon, they couldn't stop it. And of course, Smitty, whenever we needed to throw that thing, we had Smitty. I know when we was watching the game, you did mention the tight end usage was up, and that's always a key to victory in your book anyway, along with running the ball. So I like what I saw out of that. It's just, I just wish that, and it's not just Kellen Moore, it's across the league. I just wish that coordinators wouldn't try to get so cute when it comes to the game plan. If it's working, just keep doing it until they stop it.
Right.
My other big thing is what I expected as far as the sneak. Of course, it wasn't working just because we was on a bad field. We was sneaking that thing all night. Working just fine. So Um, Obviously, it can't look exactly like it did with Kelsey, but I mean, it was just as effective.
Yeah, we got
Um,
what we needed.
yeah, we got what we needed out of it.
I think a little bit of combination too was that was our first time like really running it when we was
Yeah,
in Bay as well as the field. So it was a combination of things.
yeah. So I mean, those two things worked out. Didn't really like what I saw out of the run game. Um, Pass rush is starting to look like a problem. Still early, but it's starting to pick up traction that we may not have. Obviously, we wasn't gonna have the pass rush that we had with Haas. That ain't even on the table. I just would like to see a little bit more out of the rush than what we saw, and some of that is just Kirk getting the ball out of his hands quick. If a quarterback getting the ball out of his hands quick, ain't nothing you can do about it.
And it's not like we had that many opportunities to pass rush because they was running the ball.
Yeah. I mean, they was running the ball. Another impressive performance out of Mitch. Dog almost had him a pick. I really don't have, like you said, I really don't have too much negative to say about the defense overall. Because I mean, at the end of the day, they gave up what was it, 24 points? Was the final score like 24-21, something like that?
I don't know, but at the beginning of the it was 20. I think the final score was
23-20
or something like that.
So they had 22 because we kicked the field goal at 18 to make it 21 for us.
Yeah.
So yeah, 22-21. So yeah, I mean, only giving up 22 points, I take every week. Obviously, the goal as a defense is to give up 20 or less. But you know, the thing about it is, I think it's easy to say to blame Saquon, but really, at the end of the day, he shouldn't even have been in the position to have to catch that ball.
Right.
If it comes down to that, we ran the ball all the way down the field. It's third down. Run the ball again. We probably was gonna get the first. If not, run it again, and just milk the clock. We was gonna get that first down running the ball. I just hate that we was cute. Obviously, the play call worked.
What we had to pick up 3 yards.
That's it.
That's
it. We had two downs to get 3 yards. With the kind of night that we had, I could see if it was a night where it was like, we've been getting beat off the edge or we've been getting beat up the middle. Wasn't none of that happening. So bad bitchery. We got by bad bitchery at the end of the day. So we run the ball. Saquon was proven, coming into the year. Everybody was saying that he wasn't a short yardage back. He looked like a short yardage back to me with the Eagles. Did you see that? You remember that? So he caught, I think it was a pass play. He caught it on the right sideline, and it was third down. And he had to
put his shoulder.
He put his shoulder down and got that boy. They say he couldn't do that.
I said the same thing when
they said he couldn't do that. So obviously, in my opinion, we should have just ran the ball, and we wouldn't even we'd be 2-0 right now, instead of 1-1.
Yeah, it's always early in the season when you ain't got too much to go off. 1-1 look like the sky's falling, but I mean, at the end of the day, it's only week 2. It only feel bad because we know that's a game we should have won.
Mm-hmm.
Could have won.
And it's an NFC loss.
And it's an NFC loss. And on top of that, like, now I said leading up to this game that the Falcons was a better team than what we saw week 1. I think most of the teams week 1, outside of a couple givens, that most of the teams is gonna be better than what you've seen week 1. Mm-hmm. So even though I feel like they were a better team than what we saw week 1, they're not a better team than us, obviously. So the only thing that really hurts about that to me is, outside of it being an NFC loss and outside of us being 1-1, is like, now I gotta hear trash from Falcons fans like, y'all know y'all not better than us, man. Y'all won the game. And I don't even really mind them talking trash because then we should have won the game. But my thing is, from the Eagles, like the team point of view, of like, man, we can't be giving up games we supposed to win. Now, I would say on the flip side of that, that's another reason why I'm not really mad about it, is because like every team gonna lose a game they were supposed to win. Now we gotta double down and win 50-50 game that we probably would have lost. So now we gotta that Saints game that could have been up in the talk. We gotta win that now. We gotta win that now because at first I was looking at it as like, all right. Of course I wanted to beat them, but I was like, all right, we mess around and go 2-1 and lose to the Saints, especially if AJ out, is not that bad. But now we got to go in there and win that game, whether AJ out or not. We can't really. We don't need to be in the position where we lose 2 NFC games and we end up being 1-2. So we got to go in there and win that game by any means. Now we'll get into this in a later video, but Hurts always usually have a good game against the Saints. But anyway, just going back, keeping on the Falcons game or whatever. I feel like early in that game, they was doing exactly kind of like what I wanted them to do because they was getting the ball to Calcaterra. Like, I don't care if you get it to Calcaterra or got it. Feed the tight end, man. And I think Calcaterra is not that good of a blocker. Like I said, we obviously seen that when he got blew up by Judah in that time. But it was a couple plays where they was just doing them any kind of way they wanted to do them. But I mean, at the end of the day, he's not really a blocking tight end like that. Goddard has turned into one. So I think we were more so using Goddard to block, and then Calcaterra was like running some good routes out there. And he was catching the ball. So I feel like I hate when I see stuff like that and we get away from it. Keep giving the ball to them. Like, they ain't stopping it. We stopped throwing the ball to them. I'm not saying throw it to them every play, but the tight end's still gonna be there. Like, feed them. If you feed that tight end and you feed the running back, man, it's gonna open up everything else. Of course, Smitty was doing his thing. He was catching everything. Even though I think he only got 6-9 passes or something like that. But whatever he got, he was catching them. He was doing his job. I just think we got away from feeding the tight end. Of course, we knew the game was gonna look different without AJ, and it most definitely did. I think coming up on this week 3, if AJ is not playing, we didn't get Jahan Dotson involved enough. I don't know like how much of the playbook he know, but not going into week 3, by this third game, he gotta be know enough by now. Like, you don't got no excuses about week 3. You was here a week before the season started. You had 2 games. Week 3, if he not involved, it's because the coaches is not making an effort to get him involved. So I'm not really gonna say too much about it in that second game plan. Maybe they didn't know 100% if AJ was gonna be out or not. Not making that an excuse, but it could be facts. We didn't keep doing the things that was working. Even though they couldn't stop us on the ground, I really feel like they couldn't even stop the pass either. We just didn't have the ball that much. They wasn't really stopping anything through the air. So I think we was really having our way with them. Now, had our defense been able to stop the run, that game would have blew them boys out like we were supposed to. We really should have put ourselves in a position where we can, because we started doing that though. We put ourselves in a position where, because at one point we had started running the ball a lot, and I was like, all right, this is what we supposed to be doing right here. What they was trying to do to us, keep the ball away from them, run the ball, get down here and score. And then now you put yourself in a position where if we go down here and get another stop, we go up 2 scores. Now, one thing that did kind of hurt us too is that when Smitty got that ball knocked out, that was a touchdown right there. They would have put more points up on the board. Would have forced them to have to go down and get another touchdown instead of kicking field goal or whatever. I think at the end of the day, like you said, and the defense too, the pass rush wasn't really there. They didn't drop back and throw the ball a whole lot, but when they did, of course, we didn't get it wasn't no pressure on Cousins back there. So I don't know how much of this is just like the D-line not getting there, how much of it is just like within the scheme, because like different defenses, like, man, your D-line just like, that's their whole mission, just like going to get sacks. Now with Vic, I don't think that's so much of his scheme, but when on passing downs, of course it is. But I think we'll see. To me, it's like I said, it's week 2. I'm not saying the sky falling. We'll see in the next couple of games. And we got an early bye week. I'll give it to the bye week to see what the defense continue to do, because I do look at Vic Fangio as one of those coordinators who, he can get the defense and like, all right, this is what we messing up at. Let me, you know what I'm saying? I think he good at correcting stuff. So I'll see the adjustments we make going into the Saints game, and then who we play after we play the Saints. We play the Bucks.
It can't be. It can't. It might be. I felt like we played like 3 South teams.
Yeah, so it might
be that, or it might be our first division game. I can't remember.
But I give it into the. I don't think we got a division game before the bye week. I think our first division game might be right after the bye week. Might we play the Giants or something? But anyway, to me personally, I'll give it into. Of course, if we lose to the Saints, everybody gonna be doubling down on whatever they said about this Atlanta game. But me personally, I guess depending on how I look as well. But I'll kind of give it into the bye week to like give my full opinion on like, all right, we gotta go grab X, Y, and Z in the defense. But I think them boys can tighten up, and I think Vic can make some corrections. I'm ready for. I don't think Isaiah Rodgers back yet, but I'm ready for him to come back because I want to see if what if Vic put him back on the outside and Q in the slot or whatever. However we do the secondary, they didn't pass that much this game, so it's not a lot I can really say about the secondary. The one pass that they did do on Maddox in the end zone that didn't get caught, so it's really see. And then we got the Saints coming up. They just had a crazy game, so I want to see that run D. So that's where I'm at with that.
Yeah,
let me say this too. Hurts. I don't feel like I know some people out there probably talking about that last interception, but outside of that little last interception in the game, it pretty much was over at that point anyway. But not saying that we couldn't have went down and got in field goal range, but Hurts had a hell of a game for AJ to be out. He was putting the ball where it needed to be. He didn't put the ball in harm's way. He was doing everything that was asked of him. I didn't see him out there trying to be a hero. He wasn't doing no doggone. Maybe because AJ was out. Because I feel like if AJ was in, he would have threw a couple of doggone deep shots. He got to get him some. But I feel like he played a good game with AJ being out. He didn't put the ball in harm's way. He didn't try to be a hero. He got the ball to his playmakers, and outside of that last drive, I saw what I really needed to see from Hurts because I wanted to see how, what he was going to do with AJ being out, and I think he did what he was supposed to do. Like I said, we were supposed to win that game, but now we just got to go. Any other games on the schedule that was 50-50, we got to go win them.
He ran the ball well too, I think. He had some clutch conversions in there.
That's what I hate about losing that game. It's like, that just went to waste. He did all that running, putting his body on the line. We lost the game.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, it was a hard loss. But I mean, hey, it's the NFL. It ain't no easy wins in the NFL. So I saw a path to us winning, and I mean, we could have just as easily won the game. So, I mean, every week you want to put yourself in the position to win the game, and we was in that position to close the door, but we left the door open. And when you leave the door open, shit get in.
And let me say this, too, about us losing this game. Another reason why I'm not really worried about it, because I know a lot of fans, like, y'all just, every time we lose a game, y'all going to be ready to jump off a cliff. I'm not really one of them people. Another reason why I'm not really mad. If you look at that season we went to the Super Bowl a couple seasons ago, it's not like we blew every team. Like, we had some games that like it's just as easily as a bunch of those games we could have lost. Like, we could have lost to the Colts. Remember, that came down to the wire. We ended up winning. The Texans game came down to the wire. We ended up winning. The Chicago game came down to the wire. We ended up winning. It was a bunch of games. Like, our record could have easily have looked different had the last seconds of those games went differently. We just managed to pull them out. So, whenever we win a game, isn't like you kind of forget about that, especially when we already had a good team and we had a good record. Like, that kind of go under the radar. But we could have that same team now. Now, of course, we don't got the same defense, but we could basically have that same like great team now, but we just got to learn how to control those last seconds of the game like we did. And sometimes it's just the ball not bouncing your way, but I just feel like this particularly in the Atlanta game, I kind of just, me personally, I put that on the coaching. I feel like it was a lot of bad coaching mistakes that kind of led to us losing that game. And that's kind of like, for me, one of the worst ways to go out was like you got the game, but the coaches making obvious dumb decisions and putting the players in bad positions. But like I said, it's gonna be close games that we just got to figure out how to close games out. And like I said, if you go back and look at that season, we easily could have lost a bunch of those games. I'm probably still forgetting about some that probably came down to the wire, but those 3 games right there, in particular, stuck out. Was like there was really close games we could have ended up losing. And if you remember, Chicago wasn't that good. The Colts wasn't that good that year, nor was the Texans. So I feel like we come out here and beat New Orleans. We'll forget all about it, especially if we go on a 2-game winning streak going into the bye week. We'll forget all about we lost to the Falcons week 2, unless it come down to the end of the season and then it hurt us. But I doubt it, man. We're gonna be all right.
Yeah. Not only that, it's just for me, it's still early, so I feel like we still need a chance to gel on the defensive side of the ball. We haven't locked down like that. We haven't locked down that starting lineup yet, so we still got to be at full strength to see like who's gonna fit where and make the most damage on the defensive side of the ball. Offensively, obviously we want to make sure that Dotson gets more acclimated. He did get a catch, so that's positive. That's more than he got the game before. And I'm not worried about Dotson at all. Obviously, when you lose a dog like AJ, it's gonna change everything anyway. But we still managed to move the ball, which I'm glad about. It seemed like Saquon is as advertised. Like so far he's given us everything that we thought that he could. From a running back standpoint, in the passing, I think coming into it, I was salty about losing Swift because I personally felt like it wasn't that much of an upgrade, but seeing Saquon run behind this line and be able to stay in on 3rd down and block, I think that was probably like the determining factor, because even though Swift was a dog, that's probably like his weak point is pass protection. But with Saquon, he's a true 3rd down back that will allow you to, even if he don't sneak out for a route, he's still gonna be able to step up in pass pro and deliver a block if need be. So that's valuable. That's valuable in this league, especially when you got a coordinator like Kellen that likes to throw the ball. So Saquon is as advertised. He delivered everything that I thought he would and a little bit more.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people was mad that we was using last year. A lot of people was mad that we was using Gainwell as much as we was using him, but if you really pay attention, then I think that's the reason why, because Gainwell was a better pass blocker than every other running back on the roster, which I think is a huge reason why we didn't use what was the other running back we never brought up? Yeah, the running back we never used that was on the
Scott. Scott.
No, last year we had to run. Look, you don't even remember him because we didn't use him. The other running back that was on the squad that came from Seattle.
Oh, I can't think of his name, but yeah, you're right. Yeah, that's why.
I think one of the reasons why we didn't really use him like that is because I feel like I don't think he was really good in pass pro as like how they wanted to use him.
Yeah.
Now I'm not saying that's exactly what it was, but I think that's had something to do with it. I feel like I heard some kind of feedback or something, but I think that had something to do with it. But yes, like you said, Saquon, as advertised, we probably could have used him even more. That run play, instead of throwing it to him, he was supposed to run that up the middle, man. Like I said, at the end of the day, we was never supposed to throw that ball. We were supposed to run Saquon twice, or we were supposed to QB sneak it twice. We didn't did that before. Like that season we went to the Super Bowl, we didn't had a 3rd and 3 and snuck it twice. So
We didn't did that last year.
Yeah, so
plenty times.
I don't know why we just was getting cute right there. I don't know.
Bad bitch.
I don't like that's what hurt me more than anything. Like is when we do not even like you said, it's not even just us. A lot of coaches around the league, like it's obvious play as you sitting at home, like bro, run the ball, and then they do something. They damn throw a Hail Mary on the goal line or something. You like what the heck? Like
they just did it. I don't know if you was paying attention to the Jets game, but they just did it a few series ago, early in the first half, where it was either second down. No, it was second down. They got all the way down the field, and
right before the half.
Right before the half, and Aaron Rodgers pulled it out and threw it to the wide receiver, or the tight end, one of the two. But he threw the ball instead of just putting in the rookie and pounding the rock.
Right. So they gave the ball back to the Patriots.
No, they didn't give it back, but they didn't get no touchdown, I don't think. Or if they got a touchdown, it was like the last possible. My point is, just go with what worked.
Nah, the reason why I was asking is because I was watching the game and I seen the Jets driving the ball, and it was like 14-3 or something like that. It was, and so next thing I know, the Patriots had the ball and the Jets didn't have no points. So I'm like, bro, I just seen them damn to get in the red zone. What happened? So I thought that's what you might have been talking about.
Nah. This one they was actually at the goal line for this one. This might have been to get 14, but they just got in. They had to use more time than I wanted them to. I be wanting to get straight to the point. If you know something work, use it.
Get to it. Yeah, right.
Yeah. Because I mean, you don't have but 3 downs.
Yeah, they be getting cute, man. I don't know what's up with these coaches. And then a lot of times, if you listen to because I seen somebody talking about the Eagles game. They was like the reason why they was like they basically made it seem that the reason why we threw it to Saquon or even went, I don't know if they was talking about the fact that we threw it or just the fact that we even went for it right there. Well, yeah, I guess they were saying the reason that we threw it. They might have been talking about the reason we threw it, and they might have been talking about going for it instead of kicking that field goal as well. But either way, their point was it was analytics. I don't even think it's analytics. I think they just think in their mind that it was analytics. I think these coaches just be, especially Nick Sirianni, I don't even think he be going off no analytics. I think he just be going off thinking like, hey, we can get it right here. I don't even think it really be no analytic thing. I think he just be thinking like, hey, we could get this.
I can't say what he do. I don't know what he do on like in general, but I'm pretty confident that wasn't no analytics. I think Kellen Moore, and I don't even think that was a Nick Sirianni move necessarily. I think Kellen Moore. I'm talking about the last drive, our last offensive drive when we
threw the ball.
I think that was just Kellen Moore like, hey, I got this play. I feel good about it. I'm gonna call this. And I mean, in his defense, yeah, it worked. But at the end of the day, you should have just went with the safer play, especially with what we have.
Well, what I was thinking, just to get more in detail about it, I see what they was doing because I think what they was doing was, hey, if it ain't open, just run it. Like Hurts run it or whatever. Somebody come, just get down. We keep the clock running. But I think Hurts seen him open. He like, oh, I got him. Boom, just he dropped the ball. But even though it was a smart play, in the fact of like if he opened throwing the ball 9 times out of 10, Saquon catch that, and whether he get a first down or not is to be determined. But you still putting your play in a position where something could go bad. We could have had a bad snap. Ball could have hit off Saquon's hand, could have picked from somebody, Falcons could have picked 6 just off a tip ball. And you just putting too much stuff at risk right there.
Mm-hmm.
Running the ball, only thing you really got to worry about is securing the ball, fumble. So I think they just, I don't know. I see what they was trying to do, but I mean, either way, I still would have just ran it. Don't even put it in a situation, because I done got to the point now where I don't even really like when they give Hurts the option to do stuff. Just tell them what you want them to do. Like, just especially like in certain points in the game, bro. We don't. Hey, just call the play, man. Just call the play. Just call the run. Just call the, like. I don't like when they like certain stuff on the line and they put him in a position where like, all right, you can change to a pass right here. No, don't even tell them that. Just run the ball. This ain't no option where if you see this, pass it. Nah, just run it. Like, sometimes you just gotta call a straight up run, straight up pass. Like, don't even put him in a position where like if he sees something, not at certain points in the game.
But I can say that overall things look better than it did week 1, which was to be expected. Just another week to knock off the rust. I expect the offense to look even better next week with a better opponent. So Hurts, for the most part, played a clean game. Of course, it's just easy to look back at the last moments of the game and let that negate like his performance. But like we talked about earlier, like he threw the ball well, he ran well, he had some timely conversions. Yeah. Other than that, that pick, that was kind of like his one blemish. And if Saquon catch the ball, we don't have that pick. if we run the ball, he ain't in that position. So I mean, it's all a cause and effect. Kind of like last year, it wasn't one thing that ultimately caused how things ended. So I mean, overall, it was a good game. I wish we would have played better, but hey, on to the Saints.
Yep. So y'all know what the next episode gonna be about. We done. We flushing this Falcons loss. It's gone. It's out of there. Final thoughts on. That was our final thoughts on the Falcons Eagles matchup. And we out of here.
Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to the channel.
Yeah, hit that notification button, man. We'll keep feeding the streets.
Boom.